Welcome to Synthaholics. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me is my co-host,
Brian.
Ryan, clipping the
Hopefully,
microphone,
hopefully, I don't think I clipped there. I think I'm good. I'm good.
clipping the microphone like always.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
Brian, before we get into the meat of our subject, which don't know if you could tell what that's going to be,
we're doing
uh,
Doctor Strange.
and Spider Guy. Brian has some news he would like to discuss.
Blizzard is gone, man. Well, they're not gone. They were going to be gone, and then Microsoft said no.
Game over, man. Game over. We're screwed, man.
$70 billion they bought Activision Blizzard for. That's crazy. And then we looked into the numbers after. Uh, Microsoft has more cash on hand than Sony's net worth, which is crazy. Can you imagine just walking to Sony and be like, "Here's $100. I'm gonna buy you now."
Well,
No, that's a full transaction.
Sony's net worth dropped, I think 20 million or 20 billion after the news. It tanked really bad.
Yeah, that's some
Hurt.
crazy news, man. Now you can play WoW on your phone. That's the whole goal. That's the only reason Microsoft bought Blizzard or Activision Blizzard, so you can play WoW on your phone.
WoW is not even relevant anymore. Most people, not most people, but many people left the WoW for Final Fantasy 14. Like Final Fantasy 14 is the game now.
That's the game. Nobody else should be playing any other game.
Well, that's the MMO game now.
Yeah, that's the MMO for right
or
now.
like, I mean, like they're like running out of copies to sell because their servers are so full.
What?
Yeah.
Like physical copies?
Digital copies, but they're not. They're trying not to sell too many because their servers are full. They can't handle.
Oh, they can't
that
put any
much
more.
Like, yeah, they're like there's giant waiting queues just to log into the game. Like it's bananas. I mean, it was a couple months ago when some friends of mine were telling me about it.
Yeah.
I don't know from experience because I don't play Final Fantasy 14, but I've heard it's like a ordeal to get logged in, or at least it was a month or so.
Well, I didn't know about that news. So that's two newses we had. Activision Blizzard being bought by Microsoft and Final Fantasy 14 queues.
Well, Microsoft's acquisitions are really strange right now. Like they're buying companies that don't like making games.
Or they just take a long time to make games.
Okay,
Well, I guess
Activision puts out Call of Duty every year, but
Blizzard just doesn't put out games, and Bethesda puts out one every 7 years.
Like what Blizzard's latest game is Overwatch.
Oh, you're talking about new? Well, I mean, they did make Diablo 2 again. Didn't they had a Warcraft in there?
Okay, they had Warcraft 3. No, but they haven't put out a new game, like a game that it's not a re-release. I think since Overwatch.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is since Overwatch.
That's their most recent game. That's 2016. That's
well, that's not crazy. That was when we got Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, sure.
But there's also been like 4 Zelda games since then.
And then like the last good Bethesda Game Studios game was Fallout 4, which was like 2015.
Well, you're not getting another Fallout game. We're gonna die.
I don't count Fallout 76. That game is unplayable. I don't understand how people are even playing that game.
Because it's Fallout. There's always going to be people like no matter what you do.
Fallout. I played it at launch, and I went and played it last summer, and it was still unplayable.
Well, there's always those fans like with Fallout or with Pokemon where it's like no matter what that company makes, I will buy what they have. There's people like that. It can be as good or as bad as possible.
I mean, I bought it, but I can't bring myself to play it. Like,
well, yeah, but that's the difference. There's definitely some people will buy it and they'll put like 700 hours into the game.
Yeah, I just like bullets don't land consistently. I mean, like Destiny, at least. I mean, I don't think Destiny's a fun game, but at least bullets land and it's a multiplayer game.
Well, okay, Destiny does have good like gun combat.
Yeah,
it does have that going for it.
I mean,
like, I'm not a fan that Destiny takes away their like content you pay for. It's like you pay like $50 for like all this content, and then after like a year, they're like, we're taking it away permanently. Is that even legal? Can they even do that? Just like buy something and then you don't get it anymore?
I mean, theoretically, they're gonna make you pay for it again when they re-release it with stuff.
There's new gun skins.
Yeah, you get a new gun skin for well, buy this content you've already bought, and we'll give you a new gun skin. But
One
the extra dungeon is gonna be extra because that's what they did with the Lich Queen
Yeah,
expansion.
they gotta figure out their, like, pay model. They gotta figure that out for sure.
I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just disappointing. Like Destiny's gunplay mechanics are great. They're just boring hell to play. If Fallout 76 had the gunplay of Destiny, I'd probably play Fallout 76. But like I can shoot things square in the head from 2 feet away, and the bullets don't even register they hit. I'm like, well,
It
this
goes
is
it shoots behind you.
yeah. It's just like I'm like, okay, well, this game's fundamental mechanics just don't work, so
It just doesn't work.
I'm not gonna play it.
Well,
Uh,
we've went way off track already. We're already pretty far off track from what we
hey, we're
we
talking
went
video
from the
games. We haven't.
acquisition to Bethesda and Blizzard Games,
Bethesda's
and now
also
Fallout 76 and Destiny.
linked because Bethesda was also bought by Microsoft relatively recently.
Where does Destiny fall into this?
Oh,
How is that linked?
well, it just linked because Destiny's an online shooter game. Fallout 76 is an online shooter game. Fallout
Okay,
76
there's the
core
link.
mechanics of shooting don't work, so that's why I personally find the game unplayable. Is when you're wasting ammo on stuff and bullets just disappear. They don't like land on the things they're aimed at and shot. Like it wasn't even latency. It's just like straight up
The game just doesn't know that you're
yeah,
shooting.
yeah, it takes my bullets away, but it doesn't give me the damage that it dealt. So
I still think
that's
the best joke about Bethesda was the one you told me about Todd Howard when his computer breaks, and if you're the IT tech that comes to fix it, and you're like,
it
it
just
just
works.
works. It just works. Don't you don't touch it. You just walk into his office and say it just works,
Well,
and then leave.
Kaylee's been playing Fallout 4, and she's resisted using the settlement system in the game, and I was like, well, you should use that because you need to grow stuff so you can make adhesive or whatever. And she's like, she's played Satisfactory, so I mean, like, not comparing Satisfactory and Fallout 4's crafting and settlement building is like night and day difference.
It's a little bit different.
Satisfactory just works. Fallout does not. Oh, then I pulled up the video of Todd Howard talking about how the settlement system just daily issue.
It just works.
It absolutely just works. But
All right,
maybe we should move on to Spider Guy 3.
Yeah. I'll start with my review because you seem to have some difficulties here. I'm good. I have to pass the movie itself. I'm gonna give it like a 7.8. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but there are things that annoyed me that we're definitely gonna have to talk about. I won't remain silent on these.
You cannot
So
silence Brian.
so 7.8 on my Spider-Man. Off the top, I would recommend you see it. David, what do
Okay,
you got some
I have
complicated.
to give, I have complicated feelings about this movie. I have to give it two separate ratings. I have to give it a rating as a standalone movie, and I have to give it a rating as an MCU movie in the greater MCU. As a
For the first
standalone
time.
as a standalone movie, I definitely give this like a 8. Go watch it. It was fun. It was. I'm not saying to say it's like it's not the perfect way to do fan service, and I feel like the way they did it was super awkward, but it wasn't like bad. There's definitely probably a better way you could fit into fan service, but okay. But as part of the MCU, this movie is like a 4.
Okay, that's where you're going with that.
I absolutely kind of hate this movie and how it fits into the MCU and what it means for Spider-Man in the MCU because they're just like stripping him of everything. Like it's absolutely bothersome to me what they're doing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man started off with nothing and basically Civil War, and now he's back to nothing. Like he was built up to be this awesome character with all the Iron Man tech, the nanite stuff. He was awesome. I love Techno Spider-Man, and like now we're reducing him back to Tobey Maguire boring no tech Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield
Oh,
boring
don't
no tech
talk
Spider-Man.
about Tobey Maguire like that. Don't talk about him like that.
Yeah, we're talking
He
about him like
deserves
that.
respect.
He doesn't. But anyway.
He doesn't.
I
Oh
don't know. I don't know. Like
man.
I don't know. Like it just. I'm not a fan of Phase 4 at all when it comes to movies. We had Black Widow. They didn't bring her back, and it's a prequel. That got us nowhere. Shang-Chi. First half was relatively entertaining. The second half was a giant CGI, like, eye cancer.
Well, there I think is
Eternals,
Spider-Man gonna be part of this, like, new
I
phase?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're that's part of the problem why
'Cause
this
he's a
movie
cash cow. Spider-Man's a cash cow.
that's part
So
of
it's
the
like you don't wanna get rid of him.
honestly, that's part of the problem why this movie ranks so low for me in the MCU overall. Like, they're not building up the MCU anymore. It feels like they're deconstructing it. And I'm like, how are we going to lead up to the new big bad, King the Conqueror? And like, you're deconstructing, like, why even make this movie? Like, this movie should, like, if they're transitioning Spider-Man back to Sony, why even make this movie? It didn't need to exist.
Well, 'cause it would make money, and it
Oh,
did. It
it
made a
did.
lot of this
It
this is
did.
the movie that brought people back to the theaters.
Yes. But the
That's
thing is,
why.
I don't know if it's gonna keep people in the theaters, though. I mean, like, once this movie's done, like, this was a highly anticipated movie. I understand why it brought people back to the movie theaters, but, like, it was I don't I'm people, like, love this movie more than I did.
Well, it's
Peop
because I think it was hard to figure out where all these characters fit in because it's Spider-Man. Everything Spider-Man from the past 20 plus years is in this movie pretty much. And I think it was hard for the writers to like figure out where does everybody fit into this because not everything is from the MCU. Most of it isn't. There's only really like two things in this movie that are from the well, besides the side characters. Doctor Strange and Tom Holland Spider-Man are the only things from the MCU. Everything else is from other stuff.
Yeah, but it's like they're stripping Spider-Man of the MCU. Like, it's bizarre. I don't really know what they're doing with it. And then we got so excited after seeing Venom, because we gotta talk about Venom because that's the post-credit scene. They remove him immediately from
They removed Tom Holland from the MCU
no,
with his Venom,
no,
and
no,
they leave
not
like a
Tom
little goop. Or not Tom Holland, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yes. The
Yeah, they removed
different
Tom Hardy and his Venom from the MCU, and they leave a little glob.
they left a little glob. And I'm like, "Ugh, okay, so we've got Venom shoehorned in, like, so they don't have to do Venom's whole intro story into the MCU, which is fine, I guess. But it's just like, it was just so disappointing that, like, we were hoping that was going to be a lot bigger thing after seeing Venom. Like, that was the
So
best
I
part of the movie. And so now Venom's got a lower score for me now because that just didn't play out at all. It was
no, it
two
didn't
post
work out.
credit. It was two post credit scenes gone. No, no
Yeah, he's
Tom
no longer in
Hardy.
the MCU. So are there gonna be 2 Eddie Brocks now, or like what's we don't know. We don't know.
Like,
We're already speculating.
is he going to be played by a different character? I mean, like, or is he gonna, or is what's his face?
Tom Hardy?
Flash Thompson gonna be Venom?
Oh, I don't I don't know. We'll just have to see what they decide to do.
Oh,
I will say a lot of the hype was taken away from this movie for me because I don't know how many people knew about like the leaks or whatever, but like I wasn't really trying to like hide from the leaks, but I also wasn't seeking them out. I knew like all these characters. It would have been a much better surprise for me if like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and all the villains weren't a surprise to me. Like even in the trailers, like the trailers were just showing us like Doc Ock from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. It's like why I wish that stuff was more of a secret rather than,
what would
just
be in
showing
the
us.
trailer?
I
If you
don't
don't,
yeah, I know.
like,
I was trying to think about
what are
how
you
would you
gonna
make a
do?
trailer, but like I don't
They
I feel
showed
like it took away a lot.
I mean, they showed pretty much all of Doctor Strange's contribution to the movie in the trailer. Like, that was about it. Like, Doctor Strange, I thought he was gonna be a bigger part of this movie. Oh,
No, there's just like a lot going on. There's definitely a lot going on. Like I will say one good thing I didn't know what was happening was that Daredevil was in the movie.
that was the
That
best
was
part.
cool.
That was
Yeah,
the
that was the
best
best
part
part of
of
the
the
movie.
entire movie. That they got Matt Murdock,
From the canceled
played by
show.
from the canceled show as Daredevil. To me, that was the highlight of the movie for me. Is I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm
Catches
a
the
really
thing.
good lawyer.
I'm a
Yeah.
super really good lawyer.
That
I was
was the greatest part.
that
Can you even watch Daredevil on Netflix anymore? I thought that didn't they took it off, didn't they?
well, they canceled it. I'm sure you can still watch it. I like, once we're done with Star Trek: The Next Generation, I want to get Kaylee to watch Daredevil because, like, the OG Marvel shows were pretty good. Daredevil
Yeah.
was really good. Um,
Don't s
Jessica
s
Jones was pretty good,
okay,
and
okay.
uh,
There's 2
Punisher.
more.
Punisher was amazing.
Okay, there's 2 more still.
Those were awful. I'm not even going to talk about them.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
No, and the Defenders. Three more. You're forgetting
Oh,
about the
yeah, the
Defender.
Defenders, I
The
forgot the
Defenders was a
Defenders.
giant dumpster fire because
Yeah, that
Iron
was
Fist.
awful.
Like I didn't watch Iron Fist because I watched the
Iron
Defenders.
Fist sucked.
I
It just was
watched
bad.
I didn't watch Iron Fist. I watched the Defenders, and every single time Iron Fist was on screen, I wanted to claw my eyes out and claw my ears out and just not
"Get
look
this
at look at.
guy outta here!"
I'm the Iron Fisto, and I'm
He
like,
was
no,
supposed to
shut up.
he was supposed to
Like,
have an Iron Fist, and I was let down because he doesn't. It's just human. He's just a
yeah,
human fist.
he annoyed the crap out of me, so I didn't want to watch his show. And then I tried to watch Luke Cage, and I fell asleep halfway through it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna finish watching this.
Well, what can you do? I will say Daredevil being in, that was a great highlight for me.
Honestly, it is the best. It's kind of sad that that's the best part of the movie. Like,
Well, is it the best part of the movie because Daredevil himself is, like, super cool, and we were just like, "That's something we didn't see coming." Like, I knew Andrew Garfield was coming. I knew he was, I just didn't know when he'd show up in the movie.
well, I heard that Matt Murdock was going to be in it.
Oh, really? I did
Yeah,
not.
and so
Okay.
like the fact that he actually, I mean, like it was a rumor. Like I didn't know if it was true or not, but I heard. I mean, so it was a surprise, and it was great. But yeah, the other two Spider-Man being in it, like it was a surprise. It wasn't really a surprise. Like that was the one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. Like
I wanted more.
I wasn't
Give me
like
more.
I wasn't deep diving looking for rumors either. It was just
It was just there.
obviously no. Like in the trailer, they showed the slow mo fight of all the monsters in Spider-Man, and there was monsters obviously tracking other people that were digitally edited out of the scene. Like
Oh, yeah, for sure.
you knew they were there. They even had it. They
Yeah.
even had one of Lizard getting punched. And like, oh, what's the invisible guy punching him? It's obviously another Spider-Man edited out of the scene. Like they, I hate it when they do that with trailers. It's like, oh, we're gonna try to make it a surprise, but it's obviously not a surprise if you look at the trailer close. Really
So,
dumb, really dumb, really bad stuff.
there's a lot of villains in this movie, and I feel like I'm about to ask an obvious question, at least with what my answer is. There is Electro, there is Sandman, there is Lizard. I don't know his actual name. I think is it just Lizard? It might just be a
Dr.
Lizard.
Connors.
Yeah, Dr. Connors. There is Doc Ock, and there's Green Goblin. I think those are all the villains that are in the movie. Do you have a favorite? Am
I
I
mean,
asking an obvious question?
Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe
Okay, yeah, okay, there you
is
go,
just
there you go.
is
The answer I wanted to hear,
it's
otherwise we were gonna have to fight.
fight, fight, fight. Yeah, it's he's obviously
He's a beast.
the best villain.
He he
Uh,
he transcended the Green Goblin role, and now I'm pretty sure William Dafoe is the Green Goblin in real life. He acted the crap out of this
well,
role. It was
yeah,
I liked it better than his original performance.
it also doesn't help that I think I saw an interview with the Doc Doc guy, and he just did it for the paycheck. He's just like he could not care less about being in this film. It was like, I'm getting paid, sure, I'll do it.
I'm
Like,
getting paid. This is all I
I'm
need.
glad that he wasn't the main bad guy because Willem Dafoe sold it so hard. It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
he stole the show as far as
His
the villains go.
his acting is like
He's
amazing.
an insane person. And there was one scene where it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme where he says, "I'm sort of a scientist myself." That's
Yeah,
from the original
the
movie.
original, yeah.
He said that too. I got a kick out of that. I'm
I'm
glad they
somewhat
did
of a
some fan
scientist
service there.
myself. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
yeah, all these little Easter eggs and stuff like that. Like I think the best weird Easter egg from a meme ever in a movie was I know X-Men 3 was terrible, but when they had Juggernaut say I'm the Juggernaut bitch from that video meme, like that was like the best thing. It's the best use of a meme in a movie.
I like that. I like that places are starting to recognize memes. It's cool. I
Yeah.
like memes. We all like memes.
Reference the meme in the movie, absolutely.
So talking about Green Goblin for a moment, Green
Mhm.
Goblin does something very bad. It's
Oh,
very bad in the movie. Now,
yeah.
my take on Green Goblin killing Aunt May is that I don't care. I don't care about this Aunt May. I don't feel any feelings toward her at all. I didn't like her as a character. I don't like this Aunt May at all. I didn't feel anything. When she
I love
died, I was
this
like,
Aunt
"Eh,
May.
whatever."
She's hot Aunt May. The
Yeah,
best
but,
Aunt.
like,
She's the best Aunt May.
that's it. That is it. She's like a hotter Aunt May. That's not what Aunt May is in my head. When I see Aunt May, I'm not like that's not like she's a little
Well,
grandma. She's like taking care of
it
Peter.
never made sense how much older Aunt May always was. Like she looks like an aunt, like old enough to be like her parents' sibling, not old enough to be his great grandmother. The thing I hated most about the Aunt May dying scene was the fact that she did the "great power, great responsibility" line with a slight, with an extra adjective in there.
Little
Like it was
change.
just like I was just like, oh my god, they made her say it. She's dead. I was like, ugh.
Good, kill her off. I don't
I,
want to see her again.
uh, it was just exasperating. I was just like, really,
There was people
really.
crying when she
She's
died. Well, there was people crying in my theater that when she died, I was like, people are that connected to this character. She's had like 4 minutes of screen time.
okay. Hot Aunt May.
That's all there is, though. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else.
People don't like when their hotness is killed, right?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Anyway, it's just I don't know. I hated that she said that line right there, and then they killed her. I just wish she was dead initially, like from the initial
She wasn't.
blast, and then they did a fake out where she's fine.
You didn't want to hear the great
she's not
responsibility
fine.
quote.
It's just like, oh, she's dead. As soon as she said that, it's like, oh, they killed her. It's like they did a fake out, then she says the line. It's like, oh yeah, she's dead now.
Well,
It takes away from the surprise. If they would have killed her like immediately, that would have been more of a shock. But then she was okay, and then she set the line, and it's like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You didn't need to do that. That's one thing you didn't need to. You got the I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. That's all you needed from the first Spider-Man movie.
We don't need to do it again.
You didn't need to do the other one. That was, yeah, I was
Well,
not.
they're
A fan
always
of
going
that
to keep
scene.
doing it.
Ugh.
The next time we see Aunt May, she'll probably be in her 20s.
I mean, Aunt May will be a toddler, and then
I don't think we should go that far. I don't. It's a little extreme there,
Spider-Man will
man.
be taking care of Aunt May next time.
Oh God, maybe who knows with the MCU what they'll do? They might do that.
Well, you could bring a variant of Aunt May. They are opening up the multiverse after all.
They are doing that, so really nothing matters.
Marissa Tomei
Maybe they'll
could
bring
come
her
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just bring her back to. She'll be the villain in the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, she will.
Ooh,
No, Ned's going to be the villain in the next Spider-Man movie because he's like, I'm not going to turn evil and go against you, Spider-Man. But now he doesn't know who he is, which I also have a giant issue of how that works. Marvel's continuity is like really weird when they do like big things. Like the time travel in Endgame was messy as hell, and like this spell is also kind of messy when it comes to like continuity. Forgetting who Spider-Man is. Forgetting who Spider-Man is one thing. How did they all forget who Peter Parker was?
Because they said just everybody forget who I am. Not only Spider-Man, but also just him as a person. Yeah. So nobody knows who he is anymore. No, he's completely kicked out of the world.
That's dumb wording.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with the writers. Well, I want to talk about one of the biggest issue I had with this movie. I have a second problem, but like that's very minor compared to this.
The fact that Spider-Man could beat Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension.
Well, we haven't got there yet. That's another one I didn't think of.
Let's
start with that one because that happens earlier in the movie than where I'm talking. So Doctor Strange gets beat up by some teenager.
I don't care how good you are at math. Doctor Strange should be the master of the mirror domain.
He got beat up in his own spot.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was able to take out Thanos outside the mirror dimension. Almost. He strung Thanos up pretty good. But he couldn't take on Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man's got the best of him, man.
No. Doctor Strange is like a top tier hero. Spider-Man's like in the middle when it comes to power. Doctor Strange should have not had a problem.
I wouldn't even say
Iron Man.
Middle. I don't. If we're talking about Marvel as a whole, Spider-Man really isn't that strong. I mean, Tom Holland said it himself. This MCU version says he's nothing without his suit. So, like, I don't know.
Well, he's nothing without Tony's suit. That's what I'm saying. Like with the Tony suit, he's a mid-level superhero. without Tony's suit, he's like a top. He's like the very bottom of the middle, probably as far as strength goes. But that's a problem with the MCU all over the place. The hero's powers on a sliding scale depending on whose name's in the title of the movie.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But
Even
yeah,
even
that
even in the Avengers, like in like Iron Man, like goes one on. I mean, not Iron Man. Captain America goes one on one with Thanos with 3 Infinity Stones. Uh, at the fight in Wakanda, right? He's only got 3 Infinity Stones. He's like, or maybe he's got 4. Like he's almost got the set complete. Captain
wait,
America,
Thanos has the stones, not Captain America.
Thanos has the stones, but Captain America's taking him on one. Like he
Yeah.
loses, but like not by much. And then, and then in Endgame, you've got Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man fighting Thanos with 0 Infinity Stones, and they get their asses kicked. Like this, the power scale in these movies like make no sense.
Well, I know they had to nerf Thor. They nerfed Thor for Endgame part or whatever the second one was. They made
Yeah,
him
Endgame,
like, fatter and weaker or whatever because Thor at the end of the first whatever I can never remember the names of the
Infinity War.
movies. Infinity War. Thor at the end of it was like the strongest MCU character they ever showed. He was like he just
Yeah,
got his like god powers in Thor Ragnarok.
I mean
He's like
yeah, he could have
yeah,
killed
so they
Thanos
nerfed him.
if he went for the head. Yes, if he'd gone for the
Yeah.
head, he could have
He
killed Thanos.
he pretty much killed him just with throwing his axe.
Yeah,
He just threw his axe at him and was like, okay, he could have killed him.
he
But,
could have, but he didn't because
he did
Thor's
because a second part
because
of the movie had to happen.
Thor is dumb.
Thor's not dumb. He's smart. He's a smart man.
That's why they made Thor good. In Thor Ragnarok, they went hard with the Thor is dumb thing, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it was
It's
great.
funny.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but Doctor Strange losing to Spider-Man makes
Yeah,
absolutely no
that
sense.
shouldn't have happened.
And it should not have happened. They should have had something else happen where like he like decided to go along with it. Like that would have been more fun if like it would have been a team up movie, but no, they had to make them antagonistic, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but they can't make Doctor Strange team up with Spider. Doctor Strange really
they're
is.
making him out to be like
You got to be careful with these characters or with that character because Doctor Strange really is supposed to be like top of the tier of like the entire Marvel universe.
That's what I'm saying. You can't make Spider-Man show him up. That's absolutely stupid. That Spider-Man, such a low tier hero, is like messing with one of the top tier people. Like,
yeah,
Wanda's stronger than him, and only because of WandaVision. Like before WandaVision, Doctor Strange had her beat all day long. Now that she knows that she's got access to chaos magic, Doctor Strange is now like a step or two below Wanda. But I mean, like he's still like top tier, and it just drives me bonkers. Which is why you should have had them team up instead of being antagonistic. And I mean, Doctor Strange was a giant dick, and he had to learn humility and stuff to become who he is now, and now he's a giant dick again. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, you'll have to just get excited for the second Doctor Strange movie, which I am excited to see. Which that's the second end credit scene is the Doctor Strange 2 trailer.
It's just the trailer. They didn't even do a post credit scene. That was so freaking lazy.
No, they just showed the trailer.
Oh, that was like.
Well, I'm okay with it because you know who's directing Doctor Strange 2? Sam Raimi. Well, why are you giving that?
Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 were fucking terrible.
No, Sam Raimi's got what it takes, man.
I don't like Sam Raimi directing superhero movies. The first Spider-Man was really good. The second two, really, really bad.
No, they're all 10 on 10. Only because I saw when I was like 5 and I was like, this is amazing. This can't get any better than this. And I refuse to go rewatch them, so I'm just gonna have that mindset in my head where it's like they're the greatest things that ever existed.
Ignorance is bliss, Brian.
Exactly. That's the route I'm taking on those. I will say that being said though, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man has always been my favorite. He's that dude is my favorite for Spider-Man. These are hot takes.
Personality wise, he is the best Spider-Man, like the jokester. Like he reminds me of like the 90s cartoon Spider-Man where he's like super jokey, like, oh, webs in your eye, his like weird like one-liners. Like that's very Spider-Man I remember, like the Spider-Man from the 90s. Tobey Maguire didn't really feel like Spider-Man in that way.
There's
and
the best take I ever heard was Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man, and Tom Holland's okay at both. That's the way I heard it explained. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, and Tom Holland actually looks like a teenager, even though he's in his 20s or almost 30 now. I don't know. He looks
I
like
don't
a
know.
teenager, so he definitely fills in like the high school role of Spider-Man. Really, he's got the perfect look for Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I think.
Yeah, for sure, he does. I wouldn't be upset if they tried to get Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man back on the list just as, like, separate movies or connect them, I don't care. Just do something with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because I know the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were not the greatest, but, like, they had stuff
Oh,
setting up.
I actually like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 more than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and 3.
God, ignorance is bliss, though.
I mean, a lot of people hated the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I don't understand
I
why they
like them.
hated them. I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
understand why people hated
the
them.
writing isn't the greatest.
I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest, but I mean, it's still better than Spider-Man 2 and 3.
They were even gonna set up Doc Ock, I think, the Sinister Six in the
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man 2, they
yeah,
showed, like, Doc Ock arms.
yeah, they showed like all the Sinister Six, like
Yeah,
in
they
that little
showed
scene
all
at the
the
end.
stuff
It
going
was
on.
it was pretty good. Like I
I
liked
think
it.
it'd be cool if they brought it back.
I wouldn't
Get
mind.
rid of Tom Holland, bring back Andrew Garfield. Variant or Loki, do some weird time stuff.
Well, they don't have to. I mean, like they could have Andrew Garfield hang out with
Oh, yeah,
Tom.
yeah, they can just bring him in
They can
now.
just have him hang out with the Venom that we know from the Venom movies.
Well, no, they
Since
took
you
Venom's gone now.
no,
He's back with in the Sony verse.
well, so is Andrew Garfield. That's what I'm saying. Like, have Andrew Garfield be the canon Sony Spider-Man.
You know what would be cool? If they
What?
took Andrew Garfield, brought him to the new Spider-Man movie whenever that comes out, if that ever even comes out, and make him Venom. And then Tom Holland has to fight him. That'd be pretty cool.
Whoa,
That'd be pretty cool.
that'd be pretty cool.
I want that to happen. That's my dream. If anybody's listening out there, please make this a reality. Anyway, I want to talk. I still haven't been able to had a chance to talk about my most hated thing of the movie,
Oh wait, go for
which
it.
is they go to like a condo in an apartment building or condo building. I don't know what you call them.
Happy's
And
place.
oh yeah, that's where they went. They went to Happy's
I'm
place.
going to my happy place.
Yeah, they bring all the villains there. They're all just like chilling. And then everything becomes very convenient. They're like Spider-Man and Tom Holland Spider-Man in the like 20 minutes that they're in there like figures out a way to cure all their problems. They're just like he's got it all set.
Well,
He can take care of all of them.
he doesn't do
They're
it.
no longer bad guys.
It's Tony Stark tech that does it. Like it's just literally like
Yeah, it's
Tony
just so
Stark.
convenient though.
It's
Like
like
these characters were like villains for an entire movie, and Tom Holland brings Doc Ock in for like 5 minutes. He's like, let me fix you. Done. You're good now.
well, I
They
mean,
do it with everybody.
that's the only one that makes sense.
I don't like it. Well, because
Well,
yeah, but why?
Tony's
How do you even get this crazy guy here?
Like
He was trying to
Tony's
like make a son at the end of Spider-Man. What was it?
Tony's
Spider-Man whatever. Doc Ock was making a son or whatever. He was like a crazy person. Now he's like, yeah, I'll come with you to see if I can help myself become
yeah.
sane.
Well, the thing is, like the seconds before he dies, he turns good anyway. He got control over the thing. He got control over the arms and committed suicide, so he wouldn't kill Spider-Man. That was like the thing. Like, so he had
Yeah.
already turned good and decided to sacrifice himself because it was too late. Like, there was no way
Yeah.
he could have
But this is the Doc Ock
survived
before
anyway.
he does that. So what happens
Yikes.
when he goes? But now what happens when he goes back to his universe? Is he good now?
He still dies. Like they all still die.
It doesn't matter. They all end up dead.
like everything doesn't matter. They kill it made for absolutely no reason. Like Spider-Man
that's
trying to
like
save these people.
That's the
Like,
tagline they should use for Marvel movies. It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Well, the thing is, like, Sandman like was at peace with Spider-Man anyway. He didn't die, and he like he's fine. I think the Lizard ended up being fine. I don't think they killed him in Spider-Man.
No, they didn't kill him. They didn't kill him.
So the ones that died still die, and the ones that
No,
don't
wait.
still don't. I don't
They
think
they just turn him back to
Yeah,
a human.
Dr. Connors,
They didn't
yeah.
kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't kill him.
yeah, they just turn him back. I mean, so yeah, I don't think any of the things mattered.
Oh man, what the writing in that? But can you okay, just for a second. I know we were like the Amazing Spider-Man was like okay, but the writing's better, whatever. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 the whole point of the movie was that Dr. Connors was going to turn a whole city into lizards. What a stupid plot. Anyway, that's
He's
that
a
was the
bad
whole point.
guy.
Yeah, but like
What
what
else?
lizards?
What else is he gonna
Because they're
do?
superior.
And
Lizards.
Electro is gonna electrocute everyone in the city. So I mean, like, is either get electrocuted or turn into a lizard.
I mean, I'd be a lizard.
Although I like what they did with Electro. I like how he got the arc reactor and like he had his like comics more accurate costume with the crown of lightning.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they did
yeah.
some cool stuff with the movie. Like they got him amped up and everything. But yeah, the apartment thing was super convenient and kind of dumb. Like he's so reliant on all of Tony Stark's technology. He was supposed to inherit Stark Industries, and now he's like a nobody. It's just like
He is literally a nobody.
you took the wind out of Spider-Man with this. Like Spider-Man was going places. He just had to fix his name and then just cut him down. Like it's like, are they handing him back to Sony? Is he staying in the MCU? Like what's going on? Like if he's staying in the MCU, why'd you make everyone forget who he is?
You know what? I don't think Disney or Sony know. I don't think they know what's going to happen to him. And so they had to put him. They had to put him somewhere that was. They could bring it. They could make him remember. They could make people remember.
But Doctor
They
Strange,
could not.
I'm sure those
They
just
could.
Doctor
So
Strange.
maybe Sony will just pull him back out of the MCU. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Maybe Wanda can fix it.
I don't know how she'd be able to fix it. She's kind of doesn't really do that kind of thing.
Chaos magic.
Just make everybody remember who he was.
Or just make the important people remember. Just make the Avengers remember. Oh, is that a band? That's cool, man. You were in the Avengers.
Cool band.
Yeah.
Cool band. Yeah, so he goes and well, I want to let's go to the fight scene here where Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, I keep going on Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, gets his redemption. He gets a redemption moment because he snapped Gwen Stacy's neck. Or well, he didn't do it on purpose, but like she died. And then the same thing happens in this movie.
I mean, Zendaya, her neck should break. I mean, she doesn't remember who Spider-Man is, so it's the same thing.
Well,
she's got to go get high on spice and go hook up with Muad'Dib.
It all goes back to Dune. The spice must flow.
Always have
the
to make
spice must flow.
Always a Dune reference.
What'd you think of the ending fight? I thought it was dark. Not dark in like thematically, like it was hard to see stuff.
Well, it was just hard to follow because the Spider-Man.
There's so much going on.
The Spider-Man suits aren't distinct enough. I mean, only one who you could know for sure who they were was Tom Holland because he's got like extra colors on his, but the other two are just like red and blue. So it's just like who's who? And if the camera was pulled out far enough, you can't even see the differences in Tom Holland's costume. Like people talk about Overwatch being a hard thing to watch, like that, and hard to follow.
Go watch Spider-Man. No Way Home.
Go watch Spider-Man, where all the Spider-Man are wearing the same skin, basically.
No, we're wearing the same thing. Oh man.
Yeah. So
well, he did get his redemption arc, and then Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, is like blinded by rage, and he tries to like kill Green Goblin. Which I don't know, like, what is he like? I'm back on this Aunt May thing where it's like, who cares if she died? So, like, why does Tom Holland's Spider-Man care? But I guess he is his aunt. But Tobey Maguire comes up and stops him.
Tom Holland loved it when Iron Man and Happy hit on his aunt. He could not get more of a thrill out of it, and he's sad that that's gone.
He can't do it anymore. But the acting with Tobey Maguire, his face just said like, "Don't do it, man." Because he was like standing. He's
trying to
there.
save him from being a murderer, and
yeah,
I mean, I get it. It's thematic, but
it was cool. I liked it.
But Tobey Maguire didn't technically murder. He just
but like he's been in that position before with the same villain
and the same glider. He just got out of the way. So Green Goblin just killed himself. So I mean,
technically the truth. Technically the truth.
It's actually the truth. I mean, like, he didn't kill the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin killed himself. He probably shouldn't. I mean, like, even if Spider-Man stood there, the blade would have gone through both of them.
Yeah, it would have. And honestly, the whole ending fight, nobody was really a problem except Electro. All of them, all the other ones were just kind of like there. Did Dr. Connor's Lizard Man even do anything? He kind of just like jumped around and
he just ran through the portal and got Zendaya Like, he just got Zendaya in a place where she could fall and Andrew Garfield could catch her. That was the only thing that he
He
was
didn't
there
do
for.
anything.
He was there to get him into a position, and then Doctor Strange gets out finally and helps, kind of, but that's also vague and confusing. Like,
As all Doctor Strange things are because his name's literally Strange.
I
Everything he does is strange.
I guess. I don't know, I
That's
just
his whole thing.
I just wish the MCU ending fights were, like, a little more grounded in reality and less CGI fests, because they're just, you can do so much with CGI now, it just gets so hard to follow, and, like, I disconnect and have a hard time caring about what's happening when everything is such a just a mess on screen. Like,
Yeah,
that
well,
that
it's
was
like we just saw it as it always comes back to Dune. We see Dune, and it's like there was no CGI in that movie. It was all real. Like all that stuff was real. And then you go to a movie like this, which has very good CGI, and I can still see it. It's I don't know if it's just I don't know if I'm just seeing too much CGI or whatever, but I can see it. I can look at it and be like, that's CGI, that's CGI, that's CGI. In Dune, everything looks super real. So I don't know. Maybe that CGI is just on a different level than
well, they,
Spider-Man movie.
they used practical effects, but like Shang-Chi took me out of it too. Like, Shang-Chi, the first half was like actual martial arts, really cool camera work, like
Yeah.
nice special effects, like with the bus and everything. I mean, sure, some of that was CG, but I mean, like, I'm sure they had some practical sets that they worked on. And then the ending fight's just a giant CG mess. I'm just like, I mean, just I don't know.
Well, there's just too much going on.
It
There's
was
there's a lot of characters.
I mean, the fights at the beginning of Shang-Chi were way more exciting and fun than the end fight. And same thing with Spider-Man. Like, when there's three Spider-Mans basically wearing the same clothes fighting all these monsters, it's like, who is who? Like, it's I guess it doesn't matter who.
It doesn't matter. They're all
They're
Spider-Man,
all
and
they're all, they're all
you should root for all of them. I wish
yay.
they brought in, Spider-Verse into the Spider-Verse, characters. I really like the Spider-Verse
They
movie. I
should
think
have
that's
brought Miles Morales. They should have
I
cast.
think
They should have just cast the Miles Morales and brought him in. And speaking of bringing the Spider-Mans in, the fact that uh Spider-Man's friend is a wizard, that's fine. Just him doing the hand thing and then finding all the variants of Spider-Man, that felt a little ham-fisted. I just kind of wish they found each other like a little bit more organically, since they were all brought to the city. They were just like, this is weird. It's like
well,
they were all
Ned was
just.
like
It's like,
Zendaya's character, or I guess MJ, just told Ned like, "Find Spider-Man." He's like, "Okay, spin a wheel," and then it's like, "Oh my god, it's Tobey Maguire."
well, I mean, that was like, it was just such a weird way of doing it. I just wish they kind of just found each other like swinging around, like the other Spider-Man just found it, like, whoa, and then they could have done like the point thing, where they're
Well,
like,
they
they
did
just,
that. They did that in Spider-Verse. They
yeah,
can't do it
yeah,
again.
yeah. You can absolutely do it again. This is live
No,
action. You can totally do it
no,
again. No,
don't
you
do
could.
it again.
Yeah, you got to do the meme again. I think they could have done it a little bit more organically. Just them walking through the ring was like kind of anticlimactic, especially they did it twice. I was like, oh, okay, you're just gonna do this scene where you just bring them in the
Point.
most anticlimactic way possible. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I tend to agree. I tend to agree.
I mean, it just. The fan service is fine. The way they introduced the fan service was just kind of like, what? What?
What?
That's
This
that's how
is
you, that's how you're bringing them in. That's
That's how
that's
you're gonna do it?
that's your plan.
All right, not my choice,
I
but
mean, like,
I don't make the
I'm like,
rules.
okay, there you go. Okay, so another issue with the movie. Everyone who
Uh-oh.
knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker. What about Mary Jane from Tobey's universe? What about Gwen Stacy before she dies for Andrew Garfield's universe?
Well, Tom Holland just said me.
No, no,
Like
no.
Tom Holland, Peter
He's like,
Parker.
no. The spell was everyone who knows at the beginning of the movies. Everyone who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Well, we
So
don't have to think
so
about that.
Spider-Man knows he knows Peter Parker is
Does
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
and
does
so
Tom
does the
Holland forget he's Spider-Man?
girlfriends. Huh?
Is Tom Holland gonna forget who he is?
Yes. And their universe they forget. Oh man. So like, does Tobey Maguire go back and MJ doesn't know who he is anymore? It's like, who the hell am I living with?
We'll never know. We'll never know.
No, but it'd been funny, like, if they would've come through too, because they should have come through the universe too.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work that way just because, that would ruin a lot of stuff, and I don't think Marvel's into that. So, I mean, if we getting down to the brass tacks and stuff, I guess Spider-Man doesn't exist anymore, but, like,
Yeah, they
that's
they
not what
they
they're
they
gonna do.
hashtag canceled Spider-Man in their
They
own
canceled
Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man. What did you think when, Spider-Man's everybody has forgotten who Tom Holland's Spider-Man is. They don't know who Peter Parker is. Did you think when he walked into that donut shop or what a coffee shop,
Yeah.
whatever wherever MJ works, do you think he was gonna because there would have to be a lot of explaining there, a lot of flashbacks and stuff for us to
She's
see that.
she's wearing his necklace he gave her in the second movie.
Yeah, but I thought he was just gonna be like, "Hey, MJ, it's me." And then she was gonna be like, "What?" He just didn't even attempt. He made no attempt for anything. Like, what was his plan? Like, what's he gonna do now? Like, he had
I
nothing, and now he had nothing. He promised he would go find them, and then it's when he had the opportunity,
He's
he
a
was like, "Eh."
he's a dirty liar.
That's
I
what
don't
he,
know.
he did. That's what he
I don't
did.
know. I didn't like it. I did not like the whole last 15 minutes of the movie. Like just him like going to see her. That was a long drawn out scene. He didn't do anything. I was like, "Oh."
Well, it was a sad ending. I think they were aiming for a sad ending, which they
Yeah,
achieved. I was sad for him.
yeah, and then it just feels so weird that like he's stripped away. He's like not even part of the MCU. Like, where's Phase 4 going? That's why I have such an issue with this as part of the
The
MCU.
Eternals don't exist anymore. Spider-Man doesn't exist anymore. Shang-Chi does. They're making a Shang-Chi too, so something's gonna happen. That movie I forgot so fast that I don't even remember what happened at the end of that one. So, but I know they're
Shang-Chi?
making a second one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Eternals better than Shang-Chi, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't liked any. I really haven't liked any of them yet. I did like the Spider-Man movie. I know we're sitting here talking about the stuff we didn't like, but the things we
The,
are,
the thing, no, no,
I like the
the
movie.
movie,
It's a good movie.
the movie is fun. The movie is really good. Like all of my issues I'm bringing up are like how this fits into the MCU. This is like my 5.0. The movie was fun. It was cool to see old characters. It's cool to see old references. Willem Dafoe's acting steals the show every scene he's in. It is a really good movie
Yeah, it's
on
great.
its own. If you turn off your brain and don't think about this being part of the greater MCU, it is a great movie. As soon as you connect the dots and it's like, what the hell is happening with the rest of the
Well, it just
MCU?
gets
What's
confusing.
happening what's Phase 4? It's not confusing. It's just not well done. I mean, it is
Yeah,
confusing
I
too, but
really
it's
don't
just
think the MCU knows what the MCU's doing. I
yeah.
don't think they know what they're doing.
Phase 4 just isn't very good yet. Like I'm just kind of like, huh?
We're
I mean,
still very early on though of Phase 4.
kind of, but I mean, like, everything has just been kind of catch up. I mean, we've had Loki, which was good, but it didn't really do anything other than introduce King the Conqueror. Right? That's all it did.
Well, that's just a
But
TV show.
and
The
then
movies are where the real stuff's gonna happen.
I guess, but then we had like, I actually no Moon Knight. Moon Knight actually might move Phase 4 forward
Well, we haven't seen that
because
yet.
Moon Knight might tie into Blade and to the Eternals a little bit.
Is Morbius is that DC or Marvel?
That's Sony, Marvel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like I've asked that before.
Morbius is Sony Marvel, so I don't know if that's gonna matter or tie in.
I don't
It's
know. Maybe they'll tie it. Maybe Venom will be in that movie.
But the thing is, they tied in MCU's Vulture into the Morbius trailer.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's
It
the
seems
problem.
like
Everything is so up in the air. Like nothing makes sense right now with Phase
I
4.
think
Like
it's Disney and Sony already don't get along, and now Sony needs to make money because Microsoft's buying everything.
actually, that could be really good. Microsoft might have bought Activision to hurt Sony, so Sony has to keep working with Marvel to make Spider-Man movies on the MCU.
I don't think that's the
Thank you,
conspiracy theory
thank
we're
you,
looking for
thank
here.
you, Microsoft, for keeping Sony for keeping Spider-Man with Marvel. Hopefully, your crazy influence will do that for us.
Who says they're keeping him? We don't even know if Tom Holland wants to be Spider-Man anymore. He said he doesn't want to do it past 30.
Aunt May
I
could be
don't know.
Spider-Man now.
She could. I don't know how old Tom Holland is, but I feel like I know he said he didn't want to do it after 30 anymore. Back when he was 14 in Spider-Man, he was like, "I'm doing this forever," but now he doesn't want to do that anymore.
Well, the
I don't
thing
know.
is, if he gets the Iron Man suit back, all he has to do is do a close up of his face inside the suit, and then the rest of it can be CG.
I don't think he
or a
can
stunt
do.
double.
I don't think they can. He can get the. Well, I guess they could just give it to him, but like that suit is destroyed and Tony's dead. So I don't know if they'll. I don't know. I don't know if they'll do the Civil War suit again. Maybe they will,
I don't know.
or the spider arm suit. I don't know what it's called.
Well, it was a Spider-Man second movie because he fabricated the new suit in the fabricator that
Yeah, but that
is
wasn't the Iron Spider. The
yeah.
Iron Spider is a completely different. Like that's like made out of Iron Man particles.
Yeah, the nanobots, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do. I think I'm okay with Tom Holland going back to be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I guess he'll have to just find his own suit, do
It's
what
just oh,
Andrew Garfield
he
did.
just sewed his own, like, blue and red
Yeah,
suit,
they're
and
just
that
doing it. They're just doing it again. What they did with the first Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man. Now Tom Holland's following suit where it's
are
I'm
they
your
gonna
friendly
do
neighborhood Spider-Man.
are they gonna do a CG, Macho Man Randy Savage so he can fight Bonesaw again?
I hope so. I would love
Let's
that.
do a CG, like, we gotta do CG
The
Bonesaw.
cream. I like
Rest in
Randy
peace for
Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, that was the best
Macho
part.
Man.
Macho Man. Macho Slim Jim. Bonesaw. I love
Oh
Bones.
man.
That was great. Best part of the original Bonesaw.
All of it was the best part. Okay, all of it. All of it was the best part. So same thing with Andrew Garfield. All of it was the best part.
Oh, then you also couldn't bring back Harry Osborn from OG Spider-Man because he's in all the E2 trouble.
Oh really?
He knows. Oh yeah, he's in Seth Rogen won't even work with him anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
James Franco?
yeah.
Huh. Another one
James
bites the dust, I guess.
James Franco's because James Franco knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He could have been in the movie, but then I weren't going to put him in the movie. That stuff.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you learn something new every day, and that's what I learned today. Now I can go to bed happy.
James Franco's been canceled,
James Franco canceled.
even by
Well,
Seth Rogen.
I mean, that is I mean, I don't want to be friends with people that are doing Me Too stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't either, but it's like they've been like best friends for like forever. They seem like they've been best friends forever. Now, like you won't have anything to do with them. Like, wow,
Yeah, that's kind of a deal
that's
breaker
like,
though.
yeah.
Like,
Good on Seth Rogen.
yeah, good guy Seth Rogen, even though like he speaks never mind, we don't have to get into that.
No, don't need to. Don't
Get into
no
Seth Rogen real life lore.
real life lore. He was on Corridor Crew. Ooh,
He was. All right, well, I think we've reached our Spider-Mans. I don't
Spider-Man's
I got all my aggression out on talking about Spider-Man. I'm very peaceful now. I'm passive.
massive. Again, a great movie on its own. It's just
Yes. Please go see it.
yeah,
If you listen to us at all, go see it.
it's a fun, entertaining movie. How it fits in the rest of the MCU is
Beyond me.
I don't understand what they're doing with Phase 4.
We'll never know until the next Spider-Man movie.
I
Until
hope
Andrew
I hope
Garfield comes back.
Multiverse of Madness is gonna be like. I'm just hoping it's not a non sequitur too. Like all these non sequitur movies that don't matter in the scheme of things. It just
Well,
it's
Sam
kind of
Raimi's
weird.
directing it, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
I
good.
hope so.
Gonna be good. Gotta be positive, man.
I don't.
Gotta put that positive energy into the universe.
I don't trust Sam Raimi as far as I can throw him.
I mean, he might be really small. I don't know what he looks like, so he might be a little mouse. Could
Well,
probably throw that pretty far.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I doubt he's a little mouse, and also I don't have access to throw him, so that means I can throw him zero far. So I don't trust him at all. After the second two Spider-Man movies.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. As far as Marvel coming up stuff, Moon Knight, I'm super pumped about Moon Knight. I love me some Oscar Isaac talking about how somehow Palpatine just came back. I feel bad he had to deliver that line. Moon Knight's coming. The trailer for that looks amazing. I'm looking forward to talking about that once that's out.
That's for a couple more months.
Yeah, it comes out in March, so we won't probably talk about it till like April, May once it's done, or maybe at the halfway point.
We'll see where we're at.
See how it go. See how it go. Yeah, yeah.
That's really the only Marvel thing I know that's coming out this year. I don't know if any movies
Doctor
coming
Strange
out.
is in May.
Oh, really?
Doctor Strange is supposed to be like early this year. It's pushed back to May now.
Well, COVID does that kind of thing to stuff.
Mm-hmm. Stuffs
It's
and
good.
things.
It's COVID's most powerful thing is that it can cancel and delay stuff. That's its superpower. It cancels and delays.
And it kills. It's very
It does.
deadly.
It does kill. It does kill. From what I hear, it does kill. Well, I think we're here. We're at the end. Tune in next time when we talk about, I don't know yet. There's definitely, we have a lot of stuff we need to talk about that we got to talk about.
Matrix 4, maybe.
Now you're drawing a blank because I put you on the spot, but we've definitely had a conversation where we're like, yeah, there's like
There's
8 things we got to
6
talk
things,
about.
yeah. Well, I mean, Book of Boba Fett might be done by the time we do our actually, no, there's only three episodes left, so it might be the one after
Sounds like Matrix might be our next.
Matrix, and then Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
And then we'll see where we're at.
Yeah.
We're not running out.
Oh,
Not running out.
And then we just got Monster Hunter. We haven't like beat it yet, so we can podcast talking about Monster.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about Monster Hunter too. For our video game people that like video games.
Yeah, we've had some people join the streams who said they watch our podcast, like, oh, we want to hear you talk about video games more. So we did have a nice little intro section, video game discussion. more on that in the future.
Well, more video game focused things, I guess.
Yeah, eventually one day, once you run out of TV stuff to talk about in movie.
Yes,
how it goes. Well, thank you all for listening. Live long and prosper into the Spider-Verse.
Goodbye. Email David at synthaholics@yahoo.com. Email. I almost forgot.
Oh, yes. Please do. I'll get in that email right now, spam. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.